Water dripping from drain pipe common from attic? More AC equals more water dripping. Is it normal?
What's the brand and model of your HVAC unit? How old is it?
Lennox G40UH 15 years.
How long has this been going on with your Lennox unit? What have you tried so far?
For 2 weeks ever since we started the AC again after the winter.
Anything else we should know to help you best?
Is the water dripping from the attic pipe normal? Is it supposed to do that?
Hello. Water dripping out the end of the cooling coil drain pipe when the AC is running is normal. However, you should inspect the unit in the attic to make sure no water is overflowing the drain pan and leaking on the ceiling below. When you have what you need, locate the Finish and Rate Your Expert link near the top of your page and click on it to close the question. And enable follow-up at no additional charge. I appreciate your business. Post back for any follow-up, coaching or training you might need on the same dime, so to speak.
Does it matter how much water coming out of drain pipe? Can I text you the short video to see if it was actually the drain pipe that water came out of? I never noticed this before in years past. Please let me know if this looks normal.
The only source of water is what condenses on the cooling coil. That can be a gallon or 2 per hour on very humid days. Tell me how long it takes to fill a 1-quart container, I can assess it that way. So far it sounds like the outside humidity is high and your system is removing a lot of it to keep the house comfortable. Removing moisture from the air is one of the AC system's primary functions. Be sure to keep the air filter clean or replaced about once every month or 2. When you have what you need, locate the Finish and Rate Your Expert link near the top of your page and click on it to close the question. And enable follow-up at no additional charge. I appreciate your business. Post back for any follow-up, coaching or training you might need on the same dime, so to speak.
How do I locate the drain pan? Lennox Merit Series horizontally in the attic. Thank you.
There is a 3/4 of an inch white PVC plastic pipe attached directly to the drain pan under the cooling coil. It's hard to miss. The drain pan itself is inside that box. There can also be an additional emergency drain pan, large and fully visible under the furnace air handler itself, with another 3/4 of an inch white PVC plastic drain line attached. However, that is not where you measure the flow from the drain pan. That white plastic pipe runs outside the house, close to a flower bed, and that is where the dripping is. Tell me how long it takes to fill a 1-quart container at that location. When you have what you need, locate the Finish and Rate Your Expert link near the top of your page and click on it to close the question. And enable follow-up at no additional charge. I appreciate your business. Post back for any follow-up, coaching or training you might need on the same dime, so to speak.
One PVC pipe attached to a sealed box. The other one attached to a larger appearance of a pan right below it. The larger pan is dry. I felt some water at open end of pipe connected to the large pan. There is no water on the floor. The humidity now is 86 degrees. The pipe connected to the sealed box has an open part pointing upward from a T-joint. The other end should be the drain pipe where the water was dripping to the ground.
Yes, that is correct. Locate its outlet on the outside of the house and measure that water flow. However, just so you know, the chances that all this is 100% fine is in the 99.999% range. When you have what you need, locate the Finish and Rate Your Expert link near the top of your page and click on it to close the question. And enable follow-up at no additional charge. I appreciate your business. Post back for any follow-up, coaching or training you might need on the same dime, so to speak.
The outlet comes out of the attic and exposed in the air from the roof line of the house from the third floor. I can't get to it. But from your reassurance, it's okay to see the water dripping out of the pipe whenever it's hot and humid, could be up to a gallon per hour. And I like the 99.999% okay assessment. Thank you very much.
It can be way over 1 gallon per hour, depending on the humidity and the size of the system. You can be pretty much assured that your system is working well as it should. Important. You need to close the question or it just goes on forever. Locate the Finish and Rate Your Expert link near the top of your page and click on it to close the question. And enable follow-up at no additional charge. I appreciate your business. Post back for any follow-up, coaching or training you might need on the same dime, so to speak.
I just learned that the water actually comes from secondary drain, and that the primary drain must be blocked or clogged. Is it true? An AC repair technician told me that over the phone, and he said he needs to come out to unclog the primary drain. Does it sound right? Thanks, Phil.
That would be true. In that case, there will be water in that large, exposed secondary drain pan. If that is dry, then the primary drain pan inside the unit is full of muck that is clogging it, and the man needs to come out and unclog the primary drain.
The exposed large secondary drain pan is still dry. Then how can the condensed water goes from the unit directly to the secondary drain and bypasses the secondary drain pan?
The water is not going to the secondary drain pan. But it should be if the primary drain is clogged. The drain pan needs periodic cleaning anyway. So let the man clean it just for good measure. Earlier, however, I believe you said a lot of water was coming from the drain line outside the house. If that is actually the case, the drain pan is not clogged and does not need cleaning.
Your answers have been very consistent, and they make sense to me. I don't mind the tech cleaning the unit since it has not been touched for 15 years. My only concern is the cost, the hassles, and potential exposure to COVID virus. And like I tried to explain to you, firstly, I never saw water coming out of this drain before until this year. This drain came out of the roof line and spilled water onto the ground from 2-story high. It's kinda odd, why would they leave the primary drain like that?
Ask the serviceman when he comes out to explain it all to you. It might be piped in some unusual way.
The question is, then the drain sticking out of the roof line is secondary or primary? And is it usual or customary to have a drain coming out of the roof line like that? What's your experience with drains associated with these horizontal HVAC in the attic?
It's most likely primary, but there is no way for me to tell from here. But you can pour a few gallons of water in the secondary drain with some red food dye in it and find out. Drain comes out of the cooling coil to an outside wall, then down through the wall to ground level, then through the wall to a flower bed. The secondary drain tees into the primary drain before it enters the top of the wall.
Is there a way for me to email or text to you the photo or brief video of the draining pipe?
I don't need to see it dripping in a video, a still photo will be sufficient. Load any photos taken with a smartphone into your computer's pictures folder and send them to me from there. Use the Add Files link next to your Send button to get the photos to me. http://worldwar2.justanswer.com/help/how do I send photo or file expert HL. If you want to indicate the volume of the drip, just tell me how many seconds it takes to fill an 8-ounce glass.
The pipe is just below the roof and above the window. Do you see the wet water stain at the stucco below?
That is a very dangerous mold-causing situation, probably caused by a broken condensate line or more likely a broken water line, judging by the high volume it would take to wet that much of the wall surface. You should hire a home inspector or a general contractor to find the cause. That will be both difficult and expensive.
Do you still think the pipe is the primary or secondary drain from the HVAC? Or is the pipe draining water from something else? I definitely sees more water coming out of it whenever the AC is on. Here is the photo of the dry secondary pan and dry floor.
If you have a home improvement or appliance question and want to chat with an expert now, visit justanswer.com/YTHI.